Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I am once again simulcasting on Rumble and Utizzle and Kick for whatever that's worth. We shall see, but I don't know. It's a young crowd over there. I'm an old man. But anyway, folks, we got some big wins. Winning. And, I think the left is stunned. And they're going to shake it off and then start their usual wild-eyed screeching and screaming. I don't know. It's coming, I'm sure. But the dirty cop ducked a perp walk. Perp walks are important. And there are people that feel that a leaker tipped him off so that he didn't have to endure the type of humility him and his ilk had put so many other people through. With their libel, their slander, coordinated. And they use their positions to make it official. So anyway, folks, we heard that echoed in SCOTUS arguments today about President Trump and the R word as an racist. So we'll see if that ends up in a formal opinion. Boy, wouldn't that be something. But anyway, what do? I play videos. I give people time to come in and get themselves a nice cup of coffee, a cold brouhaha, or maybe an adult beverage of your want. And then we'll do what? We'll be like butter and get on a roll.
How many have you punched in your lifetime?
It's kind of a new phenomenon, really.
Okay.
Nazis walking around in the street, so I'm ready.
Okay. And how would we spot a Nazi walking down the street today? How would we know if someone's a Nazi?
Usually they have a red hat on.
Okay. So Trump supporters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think that we should be punching them?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you justify violence against Trump supporters?
I don't know.
Well, I'll give you like 10 seconds to think about it because I would love to know.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Do you think that we should be justifying violence against a certain group of people? Do you see his sign?
Black or brown people, you mean?
Well, I don't see, I've never seen a Trump supporter hold a sign that says punch a brown person. I've never seen that.
So are you identifying as a Nazi?
No, I don't identify as a Nazi,
I'm
no.
confused.
Do you identify as a Nazi?
No, I am anti-fascist, actually.
Okay. Well, I am a Trump supporter. And I do have a red hat and I wear it. I actually have a red sparkly jacket that says Trump, MAGA on it. Would you advocate for people to punch me?
Maybe.
That is insane.
Maybe.
You agree with violence against women for their political opinion?
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You sure did.
Corralled into this box where we either have to hate Vladimir Putin and believe everything evil that's said about him and love Ukraine, and there's no in between. And that reminds me a lot of you're either a white supremacist or you go with the Democrat narrative on everything under the sun.
The most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today, white supremacy.
And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white.
I mean, there's as much interference here as you could possibly imagine. Before you even get to Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, Mitt Romney, and all of their children who earn millions from Ukrainian gas companies. These days, it's hard to believe anything because they've lied about COVID, they lied about Russia collusion, they lied about the Ukraine impeachment trial, and there's so much more going on in Ukraine that nobody is talking about.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
My job as a journalist is to try to understand what is the truth here. I don't like being lied to, and we're being lied to on an epic scale. When we're told your only choice is you have to be 100% with Zelensky. Slava Ukraina. The puppet who you can find on the internet in black stilettos and leather pants. Zelensky was selected like so many of our leaders. And honestly, with big tech and with election fraud these days, we don't know how many leaders all around the world have been selected for us and weren't actually voted in.
How to build back better.
We have to build back better.
Build back better.
If Donald Trump gets the Republican nomination, there are many of us that will move heaven and earth to ensure he doesn't win.
We are fighting the same battles all over the world. To pretend that this war is about Russia and Ukraine is a barefaced lie. Putin has been warning for 15 years that he is not going to stand by while the globalists take over the world, build bioweapons facilities and whatever else they're doing. in Ukraine. Ukraine has been a center of money laundering for many of the leaders in this country. Billions of US dollars have been laundered through Ukraine, and we say nothing about it. Does nobody question these things? We have an idiot like Lieutenant Colonel Vindman.
Mr. Vindman. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, please.
Do you always insist on civilians calling you by your rank?
And sits there as a lieutenant colonel. He didn't even make colonel. And he's telling the president of the United States what his policy should be. You have a traitor in the form of Maria Yovanovitch, who was Obama's ambassador, who's telling Ukrainian government officials, don't listen to the will of the American people.
In his July 25th phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky, the president badmouthed Yovanovitch, calling her bad news.
I was shocked, absolutely shocked.
And then she's given a cushy job for life at Georgetown University, and we're told that the president of the United States cannot say to his foreign counterparts that we want you to look into something.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. And they put in place someone who was solid.
So much hypocrisy and dishonesty here, and Ukraine is at the center of it all.
You want to play this? Okay. Come on. Okay. Do you want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
Storm zone. Yes, sir. I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined. Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope everyone is doing well. Forget your troubles. Come on, get happy. We're going to chase all your cares away. Sing hallelujah. Come on, get happy. Get ready for the what? Judgment Day. Yeah, we got some big stuff going on. And the left doesn't know what to do. Well, I tell you what, this ruling that was released by SCOTUS today sent a message, a big message. Hi, Todd. How you doing, Colette? Nice to see you. Wayne, nice to see you. Elva, Sissy. We got Colette here, Todd here. Darla, nice to see you. Tammy's here. All right. Nice to see you, Rebecca. Max here. All right, everybody's coming in. Robert's here. Nice to see you. Let's see who else is. Brett's here. All right, I saw somebody on Kick. I gotta say hi to them. Ha ha ha. Let's see. Who is that? Magnus. Magnus 89. Yeah, you work with a lot of streamers to grow their channels. All right. Well, wait a minute. I can see Kick chats, but I don't think my YouTube people can. But anyway, so let me get back to Magnus here. Discord. You want to talk about? I had a lot of people tell me that. I don't know. Do you? If you got I got a True Social account. You can message me on Mountain Man Speaks. I've said it many times, and also on Telegram. If you got a Telegram, you can put in the comments after the video or during the video in the hard comments, not in the chats. No, leave it in the chats there. Yeah, I can look it up in Kick. If you got a Telegram, I might talk to you. Let's see what else is going on. I want to see who I'm talking to, right, sissy? Yeah, I do things the old-fashioned way. Yeah. So anyway, let's see who else is coming in here. I saw somebody else on Kick too. So I got my Utizzle crowd. Speaking of, hi Cole, how you doing? Speaking of the Utizzle crowd, I've been waiting to see if Kathy would come in. She, if you all were looking at comments on my past videos, Kathy shared in the comments, and some of you all gave her some comfort. I left her a message also. She lost her sister. And if you're listening, Kathy, we're thinking about you. And if you're not ready to come in chats, we understand. Okay. Some of you all who didn't know that might want to go look in the comments and see Kathy's name where she left that message, and probably reach out to her and tell you you're thinking about her. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. Whoa. How you doing? Who was the other person? Miss Mendersu. Nice to see you. All right. It was somebody else. If I'm lucky, nice to see you. If I miss anybody, you know I don't mean to. There's John Sport, Stream Pro 10. I don't, looking forward to, listen, yeah, leave your comments up on Kick so I can review them afterwards. But anyway, folks, optics are important, are they not? Yes, we know that optics are important. And what have the optics been? Just, and much more, of course, but I put up two big optics the world is paying attention to. Jolly Good Fellows, for he's a jolly good fellow, and a dirty cop. You know, they say, hi, Kim. They say that somebody tipped this guy off, that he avoided the same humiliations him and his ilk have put people through. Okay? You can, in the comments, who got humiliated with perp walks? Oh my gosh, I hadn't seen him in a while. What was the old fella's name? Worked for the Nixon administration. Yeah, plenty of them. But he keeps getting out of these perp walks. And then he gets to come up and do a video where he's so pleasant and nice, right? And it's just a crooked, corrupt president going after an innocent man from a higher, what was the book called? A Higher Justice or something like that. But anyway, here's his well-produced message to the people after the arrests were announced, or the indictments.
Well, they're back. This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach a year ago. And this won't be the end of it. But nothing has changed with me. I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go. But it's really important that all of us remember this is not who we are as a country. This is not how the Department of Justice is supposed to be. And the good news is we get closer every day to restoring those values. Keep the faith.
Yeah, right. Getting closer every day to restoring your criminality that was running rampant at the state level, federal level, local levels, all the members of the big club that's getting their cages rattled. It looks to me like he's medicated. What do you all think? Do you all think he's medicated? You know, like I said, yeah, he's a snake. Cosette, nice to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Where's Colette? I did a little thing on Cosette and Colette. But anyway, I got to get my booms ready. I want to thank Mike and Bev. Went to buy me a coffee. And I appreciate the last ones to do it. And pow, right on top of James Comey's head. And the younger gang, boom. Before that were the most recent kapow since my last stream. And Roland put a kapow. Went to buy me a coffee for my last stream. And I appreciate that. And all the others, which I'll name off in a minute. So anyway, now the story is that, these we talked about grand jury proceedings are supposed to be secret. And how did he know? Did they have to do an early announcement because somebody tipped him off? Well, Laura Logan thinks so. She posted, who tipped him off? Who tipped him off? By all rights, he should have been picked up, put in prison, and extradited to North Carolina, where, the judge would hear whether or not to give him bond. Now, if that's true, what Laura Logan is saying, that somebody tipped him off, they don't know what the judge's intention was in North Carolina. Did the connections and the wheels start turning, the phone calls start getting made, okay, and the media gearing up, because this was a blindside. I almost said the other day, the godfather of veiled threats that started it big time on the internet and in comments was 8647 James Comey. Do you all remember how that took off? He is the first one, the godfather of veiled threats. So anyway, I might play Laura Logan's video about if she may have made one. But anyway, here's Todd Blanche announcing what happened with Comey. And if anybody needed a perp walking now, wouldn't that be something? This big visit by the king. It's a King's Day. All the people and all the representatives in Congress standing up, clapping for a king. And wow, have a side picture of Comey with handcuffs being extradited to North Carolina. But anyway, here's Todd Blanche.
Today, a grand jury sitting in the Eastern District of North Carolina returned an indictment against James Comey on 2 counts. The first count is that on or about May 15th of last year, he knowingly and willfully making a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States. Count 2, same day, May 15th, 2025, that the defendant, James Comey, knowingly and willfully transmitting in interstate commerce a communication that contained a threat to kill the President of the United States. Both of these counts carry a maximum term of imprisonment of of 10 years. So I think it's fair to say that threatening the life of anybody is dangerous and potentially a crime. Threatening the life of the President of the United States will never be tolerated by the Department of Justice.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if what Rudy Giuliani's got. Now you know one other reason why they went out of their way to sully and slander Rudy Giuliani, because you know what his opinion would be, and he knows how the mob thinks and what the mob says, because he broke all the big names in the mob. So he knows what 8647 meant, especially as the FBI director. So, just a quick rundown. On top of Comey, okay, you got Fauci's assistant is in big trouble. We're going to talk about that. Jerome Powell is not going to be chairman anymore, but he's not stepping down. But still, Trump's going to have fun with him. And the United Arab Emirates is going out of OPEC, which Iran was a member of, but they had enough. They've had enough. And that is going to be a big, big deal. And Trump did say that Iran was communicating to them that they were on the verge of collapse. And you got Tim Walz on the hot seat with multiple raids and indictments, almost 24 different businesses in his state getting rolled up right when he's got to give his State of the State address. Looking like a fool. So King Charles is in town, and it's a very good look. I know people are going to start up, oh, I knew Trump was a blue blood. Yeah, well, whatever. England were where the colonists came from, okay? So, anyway, we had a big win in SCOTUS with a case in Louisiana, which is going to wipe out upwards of 14 seats that have been gotten through chicanery and racism over the years for the Democrats. And the Virginia Supreme Court is not certifying, going to allow them to certify the mess they did in Virginia. And on it goes. There's going to be more stuff coming. This is just in the past couple of days. So, anyway, here is Steve Miller. Posted this, just a little bit of White House pomp and ceremony. There. He's got places to go. They're just like colonists. How long is King Charles's visit into our country? I'm just wondering how long is he going to be in the country? I know he's going by some nearby DC towns in Virginia.
Majesty, Charles III.
No kings, yay! Look at them all. Got their cell phones out, taking pictures and clapping. Like Trump said, yeah, hit those thumbs up. Like I'm King Charles. Look at them all standing. Play that for every No Kings protest. So, anyway, I watched a little bit of Charles's speech. It was good. A lot of people are trying to read into it bad stuff about Trump. But no, there's nothing bad to read into that speech. Maybe I'll get into a little bit of the narrative. Oh, did Jimmy Kimmel get suspended? Elva. said, boom. Let's see. Sweet dream, or sweet day. How you doing? Sweet daydream. Nice to see you. Ha ha ha. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I missed anybody. 4 days, Kim said. Yeah, I think he's going to go over the weekend, probably around, see the Blue Ridge Mountains or the Shenandoah Valley. Things, nearby where it doesn't look like always a hustle and bustle. But anyway, here is a report, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, this is about the redistricting decision by the Supreme Court. And you know what? Before I play this real quick, I'm going to say, you all heard the story that the lunatic left SCOTUS members were dragging their feet to not put this decision out. That's why I'm saying them putting this decision out gave us a big message that somebody picked up the phone and told them to, do you know what, or get off the pot with this decision. And that is reflective of the Dobbs decision, where they were slow walking their dissent on the Dobbs decision in Roe v. Wade. And it got to the point where Supreme Court justices' lives were in danger. Their homes were getting doxxed. And they arrested a person for attempting to go after, was it Alito? And I think did he get sentenced 20 years in jail? And one of the milder judges, Breyer, told the dissenters, look, we need to get this thing, put out. You got to quit dragging your feet. And they say Elena Kagan blew up and yelled and screamed. You could hear it outside in the hallway. So they don't care if their own compatriots, their fellow justices, are in danger. What do you think they care about the American people? And then there was a leak about this decision. Of course, there was a leak about Dobbs. It started all that protests and BS. Trump told John Roberts to get the FBI involved. Next thing you know, we get this decision released in time for these states to do something. Okay? And what is the message that I'm hearing? The message that I'm hearing is that Donald J. Trump, or any president of the United States, is not only the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, but he's the chief law enforcement officer. And the message was, nobody's above the law. If there's somebody breaking the law, even if they're on the Supreme Court, it's the duty of the chief law enforcement officer to do something about it. So they got this decision released before Trump ordered an investigation. And there may still be one going on. But anyway, yeah, I'm crazy, right? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If you have people breaking the law and manipulating the timing of elections and redistricting, even if they're Supreme Court justice, they can get in big trouble. And the only one to get them in big trouble is a chief law enforcement officer.
Good morning. Okay, so this at first blush here is a win for the plaintiffs who were not black plaintiffs. They were non-minority voters who challenged this decision. These two districts that were minority majority. Essentially, Louisiana had drawn up districts, and then they were told in a legal battle that they had not represented black and minority voters sufficiently. They went back and drew a second district. So they had two of these minority majority districts. Well, then non-black voters sued and said, this is now violating our rights, our rights on the basis of race. So it looks like this is a 6-3 decision. There is one concurrence here, but it looks like the dissent sticks together with Justices Kagan, Sotomayor, and Jackson. But here's what the majority says. They say in some, because the Voting Rights Act did not require Louisiana to create an additional majority-minority district, no compelling interest justified the state's use of race in creating SB 8. That was those 2 new districts. That map is an unconstitutional gerrymander, and its use would violate the plaintiff's constitutional rights. Now, this opinion is almost 100 pages long, so we're going through to see if it says something more broadly about the Voting Rights Act. That had been the fear on the left, that somehow this decision, if it was favorable for those challenging these maps, that it would somehow do a big chunk out of the Voting Rights Act. Haven't gotten to language that suggests that yet. It sounds like this decision is primarily about what happened in Louisiana. So we'll keep digging through this. But for right now, it's a win for those who were challenging these 2 minority-majority districts. Now, as we read through this and figure out the broader implications, there were 20-plus districts across the country that would have potentially lined up with this decision. They could be open to challenges that they were drawn on the basis of race, or that it was the primary factor that was used in drawing those districts. Most of those are throughout the South. So we'll look to see if there's enough sweeping language in this particular decision that may have a domino effect on some 20 other districts. Could be huge for the midterms. We'll continue to read through.
Yeah, they don't they can't stand it. And that's a wonderful thing. Here's a video of when they're getting it. They voted to go ahead and put it up for a vote, and then it's got to go to the Florida Senate, but it got shoved through today. And this is where, right when it comes through, one of these lunatic legislators come out with a bullhorn and start acting a fool.
Our democracy, this is a violation of the Constitution. It is. It's a violation of the Constitution. I'm out of order, but y'all are doing illegal.
Representative Persons Mullica has waived closed. The question now recurs on final passage of HB 1D. The clerk will unlock the machine and the members will proceed to vote. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? The clerk will lock the machine and announce the vote.
83 yeas, 28 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill passes. Read the next bill.
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I don't know what the rest of this video is, but yeah, she really made an idiot of herself. But like I said, you can't shame these people. You can't shame them. So did you all listen to any of the Supreme Court arguments today? One of the people arguing for the Supreme Court arguments were about a different matter. One of the lawyers, this is about the Haitian temporary protected status. And one of the lawyers for the Haitians got up and quoted Donald Trump as saying the people came from, and he used the word S-hole countries, S-H, and you know, that's it. All right? Countries, whole countries. And he called that racist speech that Donald Trump showed, that he was only picking countries of people of color. And at the end of the presentation, he told the Supreme Court, well, yeah, the law says that the courts can't get involved. But we got one exception where we win, and that is if actions are taken by the government because of racism, we win. In other words, Donald Trump's statements were racist, that Donald Trump said these things, and Ketanji Brown Jackson lapped it right up, repeated a lot of the points along with Sonia Sotomayor. And you had Elena Kagan sitting in there babbling. I think she's still stunned over what happened about letting the other ruling we just discussed actually be released in time for it to affect the current midterm elections coming up. I think she's still stunned, but that's not going to stop them. We're talking about 350,000 people. They want to give every one of them court dates when none of them want to speak English or none of them know how to speak English. They've been here for years. They care not. And they are eating the dogs and eating the cats. I've seen videos. I saw on the grill, what was on the grill? A smoking grill, actively cooking, and it wasn't Swedish meatballs. That was what they were saying. The countries Donald Trump wants his people from Sweden and Norway, all white countries. So he's a racist. Well, they weren't cooking Swedish meatballs, okay? It was pets. So anyway, it's going to be interesting to see if they commit, because that statement was never made by Trump. No record, no recording. No person will raise their hand and say, I heard him say it. It's anonymous sources that said Donald Trump said, I'll say it one time. Why are you bringing people in from these shithole countries? We even had a senator and other people present at the very self-same meeting say, I never heard him say it. So that statement is like the Charlottesville hoax. Good and fine people. That lie that was put out. It is a statement that is part of an illegal psychological warfare campaign narrative. Will it be repeated on the record for posterity by members of SCOTUS? We shall see. I will be very interested in seeing. And for what effect? For what effect? Just before a critical election to keep 350,000 people in this country that should not be here, that was brought in under a puppet regime run by installed Marxists governing by AutoPen. So, yeah, we'll see how that works out. But anyway, speaking of optics, Clandestine put this picture up, but you could see it all day long when Trump and King Charles were reviewing troops and the guard and whatever. Optics are important. And I saw in some of the postings they were saying, Trump is so rude. One of the ABC posts said Trump breaks protocol with royal protocol with King Charles. And all the lefties were saying he has no class. He doesn't know how to treat guests and all this kind of stuff. I put in there, follow the leader, Charles. Follow the leader. And that's what you were seeing. Charles knew where he was supposed to be. Okay? And knew where Donald Trump is supposed to be. Right? With his red power tie, walking in front, and between him and everybody else, including the king, 2 steps back, is the U.S. military. Okay? You want to know who's running the world? Just look at the picture down below. So, because, hey, we remember this. Put this in your meta page. Put this in your meta page. The Brits gave up their guns. Now their government puts them in jail for yelling, "We love bacon." It's true. It's not an exaggeration. And I love my bacon. With sharp cheddar cheese, a little bit of mayonnaise, make me a sandwich. Oh, or BLT. Oh, with a fresh tomatoes and lettuce. Man. salty bacon. But anyway, I love it. I'm sure many of you concur. And like Jesus said, it's not what goes in your mouth, it's what comes out your mouth. So anyway, speaking of what's coming out of people's mouths, you saw that video I played at the beginning with the inculcation of violence into our body politic. Jimmy Kimmel did. I should have checked the chats a little bit more. I heard he got suspended, but you don't know what to believe. He should be fired. I said they should have had a couple of U.S. Marshals get him by his elbows and lift his feet off the ground and take him off the stage. So anyway, Jimmy Kimmel, he came out and said the show will go on. Not the show must go on, right? Where's you have to take my word for it. But what about this, Jimmy Kimmel? You think people forget? Now, one of the things they pull is they have you taken down. This is our copyright property. But hey, I'm showing this to show you that this isn't the first time he's made references to Trump getting harmed. Okay, so I might put some special effects up while it's going on and make some comments myself and even stop the video. I don't know. But here you go. Remember this.
Okay, so now let's pretend this is his first day of prison, okay? And you guys can come in the area.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Donald Trump.
You're gonna roll with me. I got the knife. Don't talk to the police.
Okay. I can't talk to you anymore. Give me a kiss.
No, get away. Grab my pepper spray.
Ah!
We're gonna pull up on this guy.
I love your flesh-colored underwear.
That would not be the right thing to say to someone.
And what are you doing over here?
Kicking your ass.
Oh, there you get Trump getting beat up and the inmates that are role-playing, trying to beat up Trump. Let's see how far they take it.
Hey, what's going on over here? Hey, get down. Everyone get down.
Get down on the floor, inmate.
Yeah, but I can't get back up.
Donald.
All right, well, what did we learn here?
You got to find someone to protect you, right?
I was going to say we wasted a lot of money on action figures.
Well, they beat him up. Now, but did they take him out? Yeah. United States to be subjected to supposed to be comedy. No, it's not funny at all. Nobody's laughing at that. Nobody with a brain. Hi, Felix. Oh, yeah, I got a clip of Johnny Carson. Funny you should say that. We just mind melded, Felix. Did you know, Johnny, that Ronald Reagan, I showed the video of his assassination attempt where he got shot. I played it, and I said I watched it live. Happened at the Hilton, the same place that this attempt was taken. Here's Johnny Carson. In a room full of lefty celebrities, right?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that all of you here and most of you watching tonight understand why we delayed this program for 24 hours. Because of the incredible events of yesterday, that old adage, the show must go on, seemed relatively unimportant. The Academy, ABC Television, and all of us connected with the show felt because of the uncertain outcome, as of this time yesterday, it would have been inappropriate to stage a celebration. But the news today is very good, as you know. The president is in excellent condition at last reports. He's been conducting business. And he happens to be in very good spirits. After all, you must remember this is a man who yesterday, while he was in the hospital unable to speak, wrote on a sheet of paper All things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. So tonight the show does go on. Now, 2 weeks ago, President Reagan videotaped an opening greeting for this occasion. We were in contact with the White House about 2 hours ago, and it was the President's express wishes that we use that introduction. And I might add that you might like to know that he also asked for a television set in his room so he could view this program tonight. I was, Actually, the President was in such good form today, I was very tempted to call him and ask him if he had any more of those one-liners that I could use. So it is especially pleasing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to say, here is the President of the United States.
What a difference. What a difference. And to talk about technology. Back then, Reagan said he asked for a TV in his room at the hospital. Can you imagine that? So he could watch the show. Talk about, what a difference. What a difference in our collegiality, our respect. Now, look what we're looking at here. Well, who is this person? Do you all know this person? How do these people get to be famous? The internet. Wajahat Ali has no interest in tamping down political violence. Who is this guy? Who even cares what he says? But they all get FaceTime. They all get on these big networks. Wajahat Ali, what channel is he on?
I think most of the country is just done. We're like, mother effer, just die. Just leave. Just like, let the Grim Reaper come in and take you from your cankles. I think people are sick and tired. What we predicted while we're on Saturday says, I was talking to some journalists. I'm like, by Tuesday, people will move on. No one's going to give a shit.
Look at you. Maybe you're the one that's going to cork off. You look like you're the Walking Dead. Got bags under your eyes. You look like hell because they can't be happy. Here's Rashida Tlaib. What has she got to say? Any concern for the President of the United States? What is this person even doing in the Capitol?
Hey, I was wondering, will you apologize to President Trump for associating with Hassan Piker, an individual who called for Trump's death? To President Trump for associating with Trump? Yeah.
Did you hear her call him a fascist? Is that what she said? Here we go. Here's a something from C-SPAN. C-SPAN, hey, it's probably one of the better ones as far as cable goes. Because once in a while you get a viewer to come in and say the truth before they cut off the mic. But this guy tells it pretty accurately.
25% of those who describe themselves as very liberal believe political violence is legitimate, compared to 3% of people who identify as very conservative. That's 3% too many. But let's not pretend it's the same thing. Let's also not pretend that it's not a serious problem that 55% of those on the left believe it is at least somewhat justified to assassinate President Trump. This is not a both sides thing. And I know it's going to be characterized, this is a problem uniquely on the left right now. The man who tried to kill Republican congressman at the congressional baseball practice, nearly killing Steve Scalise, that was left-wing violence. Burned down cities in the Summer of Love and the George Floyd riots, left-wing violence. The Waukesha Christmas Parade massacre, left-wing violence. The Lee Zeldin stabbing attempt, left-wing violence. The Covenant school shooting in Nashville, left-wing violence. The Butler, Pennsylvania Trump assassination attempt, left-wing violence, the Trump International West Palm assassination attempt, left-wing violence, the Abundant Life Christian School shooting, left-wing violence, the United Healthcare CEO murder, left-wing violence, Tesla's burned, keyed and damaged, left-wing violence, the murders at the Israeli embassy, left-wing violence, the Minneapolis Catholic school shooting, left-wing violence, the anti-white Charlotte, North Carolina stabbing, left-wing violence, the attempted Utah News State firebombing, left-wing violence, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, left-wing violence, ICE facilities firebombed, left-wing violence, a 1,300% increase in attacks on ICE agents, left-wing violence, and now a third attempt on President Trump's life. I think there needs to be a full accounting of whether or not the NGO network had anything to do with this, but I will tell you in this manifesto, the language used by this guy sounds like something you'd hear from a pundit on MSNBC every single night.
Yeah, wait till those decisions come down about the temporary protected status of Haitian migrants. Somebody might temper their language, but I think they already crossed the line. I think it's on the record in SCOTUS that they consider Trump, Ketanji Brown Jackson and Sotomayor consider Trump to be a racist and give credit and believability to a false narrative and incorporate that false narrative into their decision making. Anyway, here's another clip.
Terrorism that you say, well, now we'll never know. What could it possibly be?
Well, they're running away from this story because they know they got their fingerprints all over it. I disagree with Harold. With all due respect, a call for unity is not for us. We don't need it.
He called for it, though.
No. I'm just saying that it's not for me to hear. It's for your side. We don't need it because it's only a one-way thing. You mentioned some examples like the Pelosi thing, which is a mental illness thing. The Wisconsin thing, we still aren't sure what the hell happened there. The Whitmer thing was a plot. Who created the plot? That would take an entire special to go under. I disagree with Jesse. This guy did hear voices. They were Tim Waltz's, they were Ted Lieu's, they were Brandon Johnson's, they were CNN's, they were The View, they were MS Now. Okay. I think this is a helpful assassination attempt because it is the first one to show that you can be radicalized by liberal smugness. If you read his posts and if you read his manifesto, it sounds like every smarmy, sanctimonious, self-satisfied pronouncement from an asshole like Brandon Johnson, like Waltz, like Lieu, the people who think they know better than you. This guy was not a crank. He was not deranged. Don't buy into that narrative because it lets these pompous asses off. He didn't do this because, as Jesse said, he didn't have voices in his head. He was just following orders. He was operating on a filter that said Trump was Hitler, and therefore it would be immoral if you didn't take Hitler out. So his filter is actually making him logical. He's the sanest one in the group because he took them at their word. When MS Now says Trump is Hitler, he's the sensible one. He went out and went after Hitler. Now, if you told him he was wrong, would he listen? No, because you know this guy. You've run into this guy. They think they're right. This is the big point. The biggest problem, and I don't include you in this, Harold, the problem with the left is the lack of humility. This is what has always bothered people on the right. We believe in a higher power. We could be wrong. But for for the left, they can have ideas which turn into belief, which turn into an ideology, and there's no breaks to it.
They're godless wretches, Gutfeld. Why don't you just tell it like it is? They're godless wretches, self-important, sanctimonious turd balls. And, I had this clip here. Let me see if I got it. Where is it? I might have to go to my studio to get it. Here, take a look at this. This breakdown here. Memory lane. Look there. Kathy Griffin. I showed you where she was hoping Trump was hurt during a fall. I saw where Sparky said he's protecting Melania. And the post-millennial. 1/3 of Dems wish Trump had been taken out by the would-be assassin's bullet. Lincoln Project's Rick Wilson said, donor class must put a bullet in Donald Trump. Joe Biden himself said he was a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. Joe Biden, who couldn't even write his name, can't do it now, for sure. Marxist operatives putting out an illegal psychological warfare campaign narrative. This is WAR. It's World War XII, whether you like it or not. Is this Atlantic? Who wrote this? Yes, it's okay. What's that word? To do what? To compare Trump to Hitler. The Washington Post. Don't let me stop you. The Washington Post. We're done talking about debate. It's time to put Trump in the bullseye. Autopen Joe. It's been going on for a long, long time. And we have to start going through social media, even if they take it down. The internet's forever. You can't have people like this in positions of public trust, especially if they verbalize their hostility. Remember this. Remember this. Is that what this weirdo engineer is thinking, that he's going to be like a Luigi? A hollow life, probably in over his head in his $850,000 home. All right. Teacher's salary. From zero to hero like Luigi. Remember these creeps? They got their Palestine dish rags.
Describe your pro Luigi Mangione, son.
It's just I like Luigi.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, really? No underlying meaning?
No underlying meaning, of course not.
You think I'm that stupid?
No, I don't think you're that stupid. Absolutely not, bro. I just think we should go.
Go do what?
I don't know, take care of people at the top.
Like Republicans and all them?
Just billionaires.
Oh.
Billionaires in general.
What's your opinion on President Trump?
Fucking sucks.
You think he should be taken care of?
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow, that's harsh. Well, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe you don't like pedophiles.
Wait, how's Trump protecting pedophiles when he was the one who arrested Jeffrey Epstein? Do you guys know that? No, I'm serious. Donald Trump was the one who arrested Jeffrey Epstein. Look it up. He ordered his DOJ to arrest him. So how is he protecting a pedophile if he arrested a pedophile?
That's some real good logic, man.
Just saying.
That's very black and white. Nice to know that your brain goes that deep.
What about Thomas Massey? You guys like him?
You can walk.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, have a good day.
He thinks he's a tough guy. Get walking. Tell me to get walking and see what happens. No, these are violent Marxist slanderers. And they should not be in teaching positions. Okay? If they're going to remain in this country, you can't trust them. If we hadn't learned that by now. Oh, I found that one video about a recruitment video. But anyway, I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, they seem baked and confused, but they're dangerous. They're dangerous. And we don't need danger. We don't need it. We don't have to live this way. I had before the attempt on Trump, this same guy put up a post on Midas Trash Pail Network that he was refusing to attend. And I'll tell you why. He's had one of the, here he is, one of these Joel Osteen smiles. You know, I don't know who this Scott McFarlane creep is. Why I'm not going. Well, you're afraid Trump would rub in your face just what a turd ball you are. Veteran reporter Scott McFarlane, why he's not going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Of course, I didn't watch it. But why, you know, you're a news reporter, it's the president of the damn United States, you fool. Why wouldn't you go? Do you know a little something, maybe? Huh? They're going to find something in your emails or your DMs, right? See, I'm learning these terms on the interwebs. Well, here he is. These types of characters. Scott McFarlane, plastic face. 175,000. Thank you. Huge congratulations. They all run to the same Occupy Democrats, Midas Trash Pail. Now they're all going to go to Scott McFarland, and they'll set their schedules so people can have every waking hour of the same prattle and narrative, just a different goofball face. And they'll rake in the broadcast time and the advertising dollars. But somebody gave them a start. Somebody gave them a leg up. Maybe some NGO. We shall see. You know, they're losing their minds. Oh, here's what I didn't get to play. You know, my video got cut off the last time I went live.
But you know now.
I just got cut off. Remember this? I was doing something. And boom, my screen went blank. And I was already almost 2 hours in. But anyway, this is Dopey Ann Navarro. Anna Navarro. What do you think her focus is on? The rights of the American people? Is her focus on all this violent talk coming almost exclusively from the community on the left? No.
Now that that room was full of some of the most important political leaders in the country right now.
Right.
Now they know, they've lived it in their own flesh, the fear that our school children go through.
Yes.
Now they know what it's like to have to jump under a table the way that school children jump under a desk. And we are a country that is vulnerable to this. We have now seen shootings in malls, in churches, in temples,
Baseball
and
fields.
Walmart.
Yes. We saw it
in baseball
with the Republicans.
And so, you know, I still don't understand how Congress took no action after Sandy Hook, after 20 children between the ages of 6 and 7 were killed. But maybe now that they have felt the fear themselves, they will do something.
But what I
on
don't
gun
understand
reform.
is how.
No, she wants gun control. She wants nationwide, all normal Americans suffer for the likes of the idiot bolstered by this rhetoric and slander, organized slander. Here he is. He thinks so much of himself. He took a picture of himself in the hotel room. DOJ releases new photos of Trump assassination attempt suspect in hotel room before. There he is. Look at the look on his face. And I wish I had that clip of that Chinese guy where he goes, a gay. So anyway, Here's where they did a close-up of him. You see what he's documenting himself. What's he got? Number one, that is a tool bag, okay? A job bag, a black bag job, right? And number two is this goofball little James Bond style holster where he can put his piece, right? And number three is a KNIFE, right? And number four are some extra clips, it appears. I wonder what, a lot of these morons, and I'm not going to blame video games, but it's just another example of how unrealistic thinking. They play these games, they're called shooter games, And if you're not quick and spin and hit the trigger and use your little dot sight, you will get taken out and you hit the reset button and start over again. But if you get real good at it, you're running through the streets or you're running through a hallway. Even some games have a simulated White House, where you're trying to get to a phony president to save the country, So, and you get good at it, they all just drop, and in their brains, did they think that was what it was going to be? Now the way the left is putting now, they're putting out a allegedly that one of the Secret Service shot the other Secret Service. This guy didn't do it. So we're getting back into, even no matter what, they can throw some kind of doubt and fog into the situation. No matter what, they throw some, and on some of these big cases, you see how people grab a thread and hang on and never let go. And there's always some kind of sorcery or mysticism or some kind of thing that they make excuses for people, like Brian Kohlberger. He didn't really do it. There are people out there that just don't listen to reality. But you got a constant drumbeat of this is Babylon B. It's meant to be, it is funny, but people believe Trump assassination motive still unknown. What, have you got rocks in your head? Media still stumped as to motive of gunman with manifesto titled, "Why I'm Gonna Kill Donald J. Trump." Yeah, they're stumped. The thing is, so many of them get stumped with them. This is the kind of thumbnails and titles you see from Dopey, Midas Trash Bale Network. The day after, let me find it. Here it is. Look at the picture they have of Trump. Compare that to Johnny Carson and the way the crowd was reacting. And they showed a video of Reagan sitting in a suit and tie addressing the crowd, right? Look at Trump. Massive protests erupt. Trump faces massive protests from former supporters. This is one day ago. This is right out of Pravda. This is right out of some kind of Chinese propaganda newspaper. Unless I'm missing something. Did I miss all the massive protests against Trump where he looks defeated and ragged out and whatever? Did I miss something? Oh, it only got 788,000 views. by a bunch of wild-eyed lunatics that are living in their own information bubble that is totally dysphoric, that feeds into their distaste for Trump to turn it into H-A and then T-E, right? Here we go with another one. MAGA women melting down. Did I miss that too? You see the woman in the upper left? That's that foul-mouthed harpy. And the other one, if she's grinning, it's because she thinks something's bad happening to normal human beings. Okay? They keep their hands down low so you can't see the claws and the warts, and the bent, gnarled fingers. MAGA, did I miss something? Oh, because Erica Kirk cried. Now, she put up a post. I almost uploaded it to play it. But I think it's like 9 minutes long. I liked her outfit. It's close to what I was talking about what I used to put on sometimes, especially in the fall, in winter, or cooler weather. I would have a black herringbone sport jacket and a wool black. I still got both of them, actually. And anyway, but... yeah, I just like earthy, dark colors in the winter. I liked her outfit. But anyway, who is iHip News? Melania in meltdown after disaster exposes her. What are we missing? Who knows? How many views it's got now? 341,000. Let's see what else the psychos are putting up. Do they want to heal the nation, reassure the nation? Who's this idiot? Valhalla VFT. I heard Kash Patel say Valhalla, didn't I? Well, I don't know what it's about. I don't know why he uses that title, but one thing I know, it ain't Christian, okay? Look at that's what I got against these AI images on thumbnails. All right, put some work behind it. Be a man, use real pictures, all right? Whoever you are in your wife beater shirt with your duckbill hat and your tattoos all over you. Trump tried to nuke Iran, but was stopped by generals. This was 8 days ago. This was before the attempt. To be fair, what the hell is he talking about? Issues of national security. He actually tried it. Look, meathead, did you put up where Trump said nobody should use nuclear weapons ever? And how Trump has said that all his life? And that this whole conflict is to prevent atomic mullahs from destroying the earth? You dunce. But if he's getting paid, he's not a dunce. But he ain't smart either. He's conniving. Here we go. Today. 253,000 views in 3 hours. Late night blow up. Generals leak his plans. Oh, so now we're 8 days apart, and we got this continuing narrative that I have never heard a damn peep out of. Trump panics and blows up at generals after King visit. Look at the picture they put up of him. Real patriots you are. Real patriots. Well, here's Patriot. Just reminding everybody, are we supposed to call him Sir Rudy right here? What's Rudy holding up? It was wonderful to see King Charles visit during our 250th anniversary. I remain forever humbled and deeply grateful for the extraordinary privilege of receiving an honorary knighthood from Her Late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, a memory I will cherish for the rest of my days. Yeah, another reason why they found it so important to target and sully his name, an attempt to bankrupt him. Well, Trump put up this today. Remember, was it Alice Cooper? No more, Mr. Nice Guy. Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon, President DJT. And I was saying, man, that'd make a good thumbnail. Huh? Maybe I'll save it for that same purpose. And what Trump meeting with King Charles, right? What else did he do? What else did he do? Had a phone conversation with somebody. Putin, Trump, hold 90-minute phone call. So there you can fairly say, in rather close proximity, what in legal terms you could say is arm's length. Three of the most influential and powerful men in the world, King Charles, President Trump, and Vladimir Putin, having a discussion. Let me see if this is the same issue. I need a Tisha. Is that the same issue? Oh, Trump said Iran wants to be a nuclear nation so they can exterminate the world. Not going to happen. Okay, Valhalla boy, is that enough for you? But anyway, the points of the call were: Putin says Iran's ceasefire decision is correct. Warns of dire consequences if strikes resume. Well, Vlad, you're having your hands full right now. With what's going on in Mali, I believe that the Ukraine situation is on a pre-agreed static front. So, some things we're watching are, as we know, a show, right? Trump told him, I need you to worry about your war, and I'll worry about mine. How about that? Both discussed Ukraine war, views largely similar. Trump said Ukraine deal may be, quote, close. Putin condemns assassination attempt on Trump. Talks include possible Victory Day ceasefire. Like Trump said, I just want a tiny ceasefire, something we can all celebrate. Ukraine, Russia, U.S., Europe. Victory Day over the Yahtzees, right? The real ones. So, I've gone the whole video and said, hey, can you give me a thumbs up? I appreciate it. It helps the video get around. Take your time. If you got to dip out, give me a thumbs up. Come on back in. We'll be here waiting for you because it helps me beat that algorithm. And I put a link for Buy Me a Coffee in the description. As I said before, I thank so much my friends Mike and Beth and Roland for going by Buy Me a Coffee from my last broadcast. I do appreciate it. And earlier in the week was Norm, Robin, Wayne, Colette, Roland, again, Mike and Bam again, Younger Gang again, and always who drops a Moab for me, Miss Mindersoo. So anyway, kapow, kaboom. Anyway, I was supposed to do about 30 minutes in, but I get to go, you know how I am. But anyway, so, yeah, Iran is getting ready to crack. And what are they going to do? I heard a guy, General Kellogg, I heard him today. I tell you what, I was impressed. And he was putting forth the scenario, if they don't watch it, Trump could install a second government representing Iran with the capital on Karg Island. Yeah, one of many, many scenarios. Anyway, insanity. UN appoints Iran to conference on nuclear non-proliferation. Iran is going to be in charge of a committee on non-nuclear proliferation. Is the UN friends of ours? I don't think so. I had an updated article. Where did I get that from? Truth Social? Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I got a couple of things. I don't think I got, let me see. I'll have to get out and see if I have it in here. Anyway, here it is. New outrage explodes. That sounds kind of like Midas Trash, but Midas Trash tells fibs. This is the truth. After Iran given leadership at nuclear conference, fury erupted at the United Nations on Monday, handed a leadership slot at a major nuclear treaty conference. Let's see what